Well, good morning or good afternoon or good evening whenever you watch these videos. Welcome. Glad to have you joining us in Theo Faith as we wander through Romans. I guess want to alliterate it a little bit. We are in Romans 5. Just finishing up this section. We're being verses 15 through 17 today, and then 19 through 21, 18 through 21 next time. So we'll be finishing up Romans 5. As you recall, just to orient us where we're in the book, we went through the first three chapters. Chapters 1 through 3 were about sin and its spread throughout mankind, both Jew and Gentile alike. Then we went to the solution for sin, salvation, the last part of chapter 3. And we've been discussing that all through this section, chapter 5. When we're done here, we'll be moving into chapters 6 through 9, 6 through 8, which talks about sanctification. And then 9 through 11, the topic is the sovereignty of God in all things, particularly in salvation. And then from 12 through the end of the book, chapter 16, we'll go over the service, how our salvation and sanctification are expressed in service to God's church. So that's where we're going. We will be finishing up this year, although we're going pretty slow right now. We'll pick up the pace and finish in October or November. So welcome. Just by way of reminder, this is one section of the Theo Faith Ministry that my goal is to get you into the Bible, get you reading and following along with me. I don't want to be reading it for you. I want to be reading it with you. We have another section that's longer teaching. I've done a number of different series there. And then another third section on topics that come up. I'm preparing one right now, as a matter of fact, about the assurance of salvation. That's been, it's come up in a conversation with a brother at church, and lots of confusion about the assurance of salvation, and I hope to unconfuse us a little bit. So, but back to Romans. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we're going to be discussing today. Romans 15 through 17. So Paul has been talking about Adam and Christ, and how sin came through one. Eternal life, graciousness came through the other. He's going to continue that here in this contrast, and he's going to have, I'm looking at my notes here, three aspects or three insights into this difference of ministry between Jesus and Adam that we are beneficiaries of. Three aspects, we could say, of God's gracious gift. So let's read these verses together first. Said, but the gracious gift is not like the offense. For if by the offense of the one the many died, much more did the grace of God and the gift by the grace of the one man, Jesus Christ, overflow to many. The gift is not like that which came through the one who sinned. For on the one hand, the judgment arose from one offense, resulting in condemnation. But on the other hand, the gracious gift arose from many offenses, resulting in justification. For if by the offense of the one, death reigned through the one, much more will those who receive the abundance of grace and of the gift of righteousness reign in life through the one, Jesus Christ. So let's look at this. Again, three different aspects or three different insights, we could say. I think verse 15 talks about the essence of what's happened. Verse 16 talks about the sufficiency of these two gifts. And verse 17, the consequences. So the essence, the sufficiency of the consequence. So let's look at verse 15. First of all, we see on the one hand that by Adam, by the one being Adam, the many died. The many died. So there's a first contrast there. Many died by Adam, but by Christ gives us this, what he says, overflow to the many. So this is an abundant gift, an abundant work that Jesus has done. This is the essence of it. What Adam did, this offense, this immoral act of disobeying God. Through that, many died. David, we talked earlier, Adam's sin was imputed to multiple people, to all of mankind. But the gift, the grace of the one man, Jesus Christ, overflows to many. So we see this contrast here between the offense and the gift. It's the essence of it. Now we see the sufficiency of it in verse 16. It says, the gift is not like that which came through the one who sinned. For on the one hand, the judgment arose from one offense, resulting in condemnation. But on the other hand, the gracious gift arose from many offenses, resulting in justification. So see that difference there. On the one hand, condemnation. I'll highlight that for you. And on the other hand, justification. Both sufficient for all of mankind. Final, we could say sufficient in terms of final, that if the ones who remain in Adam, they are condemned, and they will be condemned ultimately in eternity. But for Christ, the gracious gift comes after many, many offenses. So what we see here is this sin nature of man, of you and I, manifesting itself in multiple ways, but over against all those offenses is the grace of God, which overflows to us and results in justification. And in verse 17, we have the consequences. If by the offense of the one, death reigned through the one, much more will those who receive the abundance of grace and of the gift of righteousness reign in life through the one, Jesus Christ. So again, we have the offense of the one, that is Adam, and because of Adam, death reigned through him, overflowing to all people, and at the same time, much more so, the overflow of of God's grace to us through Christ is this gift of righteousness, and we who receive that, and we receive that, of course, by faith, that is our hands extended to God to receive the gift that he is giving us. That's what faith is. We will reign in righteousness through the one, Jesus Christ. So death reigned or righteousness reigned. Death reigned, ruining our future hope, ruining our present as we suffer under the wrath of God. But through Christ, righteousness reigns. We have a future hope that is safe for us, secure in heaven. And we have today this time that we live in that will be made into the image of Christ more and more. So what we have, I think, ultimately is these two ways, a way of salvation and a way of condemnation. The way of salvation blazed through us by Christ, the way of condemnation laid out before us through Adam. On the one hand, it is a fruit of sin. On the other hand, it's a fruit of righteousness and leads to justification. So brothers and sisters, that is the path that's set before each of us. That is the decision that each of us are called to make, to choose Adam or to choose Christ. We'll see that developed a little bit more in Romans 5. And then when we go into chapters 6, 7, and 8, we'll see more clearly the consequences of that choice in a righteous life, a holy life. So God bless you, brothers and sisters.